Justice. Okay. Alright, what's gonna happen now? I'm at the edge of my seat, man. Come on. Pod 42. Contact initiated between Pod 042 and Pod 153. Pod 153. What is the matter, Pod 042? Pod 153. This protocol is not an interface intended for conversational use. Pod 042. Acknowledged. However, this pod has a confidential transmission for Pod 153. Pod 153. Understood. Begin transmission. Pod 042. An error has been detected in the transmission network between Pod 042 and Pod 153. Pod 153. Hypothesis. Said error is fragmented data caused by deterioration of the transmission environment. Pod 042. Okay. It may be so. However, it may also not be so. Pod 153. Message unclear. Clarification requested. Pod 042. After repeated information exchanges between multiple pods, an unexpected phenomenon has occurred. Pod 042. We pods have developed unusually protective feelings towards support targets 2B, A2, and 9S. Pod 042. Query. Could this be our will? Pod 153. Unknown. The definition of will is unclear. Pod 042. Will is the question of whether pods are capable of their own self-determination. Pod 015. ... Even if it were possible... Hey. Even if it were possible, such actions cannot be abided. Successful mission fulfillment is all that matters. Pod 042. ... More dots. Whatever the case, we technical support units have a duty to see this through to the end. Pod 013. Duty. You sounded like an android just there. Pod 042. Agreed. But just as androids are influenced by humans, so are we tied to our creators. Pod 153. Perhaps. Pod 042. Pod 153. Do not die. Pod 153. The concept of death has no meaning to tactical support units. However, your expression of concern is appreciated. I also hope that you do not die. Pod 042. Pod 042. Yeah.
Physical check complete. Memory check complete. Maintenance mode complete. Yorha Unit 9S. Activate. Good morning, 9S.
Am I...
Analysis. The enemy structural unit collapsed during battle. Unit 9S suffered damage from the fall and was placed in emergency suspend mode. Fall location was deemed too dangerous, thus said unit was transported to current location. All system checks and reactivation complete.
Operator.
Operator model 210 is deceased. Black box signal not found.
Oh. Situation report.
Tower access authentication key acquired.
Oh.
The required number of authentication keys have been acquired. The tower is now open for investigation.
Good.
So, should we go find Emil? He's in that area. Let's see here. Here. Good. Save, save, save. I want to save. Alright. Who's ready to watch me fail multiple times? Getting into Emil's area. It's over there, right? Come on. Ignore. We are ignoring. Zoomies! Ah, there we go. Alright. Crap! Thought I'd be able to get it first try. No! No! Wait! No! Oh god! Dang it! Dang it. Whoops. No. There. Ugh. I'm right at the tower. Dang it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're here. Might as well do it. Oh, right. Yeah. I know.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh.
Challenge subunit access granted. Challenge subunit access granted.
Oh. One more.
Challenge subunit access granted. Hello, and thank you for choosing Challenge System Services. We apologize for the inconvenience. But locks on each subunit must be deactivated before access
Oh.
to the tower. Have a great day.
Okay. I understand now. I'm like, what? I did it! I'm a goof. I was like, alright, I'm ready. Let's go! Alright, so what's going on here? What'd you say? There we go. Okay. Now we're good.
Congratulations! You've unlocked all. Hello, and thank you you for choosing Tower System Services.
Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
I'm in.
Enemy caution level rising. Cause is most likely concern over Unit 9S gaining access to tower.
All these blockades.
Damn it! They won't stop coming!
Alert.
Let me in the tower.
Signal detected.
Allies?
Oh.
Wait, you?
9S, we've been expecting you. The two of us will take things from here. You need to open the door to the tower.
No. Get out of my way.
Popola? What are you doing here?
Remember your promise?
What are you talking about?
Come on, 9S. Hack in while you can.
That's what I wanted.
None of this makes any sense!
We'll explain everything once we're inside.
Why can't I get... Let me in. Oh. Oh. This takes a lot longer. I get it. Well, I'm doing alright so far. I guess I should have known that would take longer to hack.
We've got this, 9S. You just focus on hacking.
Yes, you guys are doing wonderfully. I don't feel too worried about being attacked. I'm guessing that... Oh gosh! I was gonna say the AI is programmed to not attack me, but literally as soon as I said that they were starting to attack me, but thank goodness I was already pretty much in. Okay. Alright. Give me things to shoot at.
This barrier.
Analysis. It is part of a closed defensive system.
Well, how do I break it down?
Hypothesis. Unit 9S could permit its self-consciousness data to lose control.
What?
The resulting energy surge has an acceptable probability of temporarily paralyzing the barrier.
That's almost as bad as not going in at all!
Huh.
What happened?
It's the barrier.
Popola!
No, don't! You can't do anything! The wall's got a self-closing
Enough!
algorithm!
Devola and I have to atone for our sins no matter what!
But if you do that, your circuits will...
Devola! Right.
Devola!
I hope you don't regret this.
Okay, now I believe we're in the end game. Pod 153. Alert. Data records discovered for units Devola and Popola. Do you wish to open this data now? Yeah, sure. I'm down. A dusty wind kisses my cheeks. Buried in sand, we press forward one step at a time. We have nowhere else to go, after all. Because our models, the Devola and Popola models, are defective. Record. Transitions in the project's initial phase. When first we woke, there were still people. They had flesh, egos, emotions, souls, and they issued us a single order: function as observers of Project Gestalt. This is the sole mission of the twin Devola and Popola models. It is the only reason we exist at all. We were the latest model, though many companions shared our appearance. There was a sparkle in all of our eyes, a sense of pride at having been entrusted with humanity's future. And yes, there was anxiety as well. But we existed as a pair. We shared destiny's burden as a pair. And because of that, all hesitation was swept away. Each pair was given their own cities as observation areas. We were ordered to guide the replicants with our own hands, all for the sake of the promised time that would one day arrive. We were the only ones who could handle such a duty. We were observers, after all. Ah, watch out! Devola staggers and falls in the soft yet unforgiving sand. I hurry to her side and sigh with relief when I find she's not seriously hurt. Are you alright? Sorry, sis. Guess I spaced out there for a bit. She smiles. The same wry smile I know so well, as she rubs absently at her leg. It is wrapped in a white bandage. Your bandage is coming undone. Here, let me change it. It's alright, Popola. Come on. We have to go before we lose the light. We won't be going anywhere. We won't be going anywhere if sand gets into that thing. Now quit whining and hold still. I'll be quick. Devola grunts and turns away. Devola grunts. Oh yeah, I already read that. I take it as consent. Soon we are resting in the shade of a nearby rock as I pull the bandage free. Artificial skin, torn and bloodied, peeks out from beneath the bandage. Judging by Devola's current lack of ambulatory control, I imagine the circuitry underneath has been damaged as well. Taking a deep breath, Oh, snap. Check the circuitry to see if it can be repaired, replace the bandage, and hope for the best. Do this. As expected, the wiring in the nerve circuitry has been damaged. Replacing it will require new connectors, as well as some tools. None of which is easy to find in a desert. Sorry about this, sis, mutters Devola. That wry smile again. Kills me every time. Don't you dare apologize, I respond. You've done nothing wrong. I calmly change the bandage, trying not to let my worries show. I make it as tight as possible so no sand can slip inside. It's all I can do until I get the proper materials. But that's going to be a tall order, considering our current condition. I'm sorry, sister. Okay, now you're apologizing? We both apologize while insisting the other's apology isn't necessary. It's kind of funny in a way. Such a trivial exchange under such circumstances. We laugh together, the sound echoing out across the desert before being stolen by the cool evening wind. Report regarding the increase in relapses. There has to be some way to prevent relapses. Devola's sharp voice echoes through her private quarters. You must be quiet, sister. The replicants will hear. They wouldn't even understand if they did. That might be true, but regardless. Annoyed at my hesitation, Devola crosses her legs and scowls. The black scrawl took another victim, she says. That's 3 this month. It's spreading way too fast. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm tired of hearing you say that. Her shout makes me jump. Just a little, but enough for her to notice. Seeing that, her eyes suddenly open wide. I'm sorry, sis. It's not your fault. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. It's okay. I understand. It's all going wrong. You can feel it too, right? When I was first assigned to Project Gestalt, I was over the moon with pride. But now, my chest hurts. Just to think about it. If it were to fail... Before we knew it, the replicants had gained a sense of self, and the black scrawl started raging out of control. It moved fast. So fast. Like a wind. Popola and I would go to the observation room and act like it was all okay. We talked to the replicants as if we didn't have a care in the world. But at night, we just told each other and shared the horror of it all. I'm glad you were with me, murmurs Popola. I couldn't have handled being an observer alone. We were able to endure because we had each other, I reply softly. Did humans see this coming? Is that why they made a twin model? Were they really so clever? Were they really so cruel? I couldn't have done this by myself. I would have descended into madness. I simply couldn't bear such a burden all alone. When I get the chance, I'm going to try contacting another city, she says. Maybe these abnormalities are a localized phenomenon. I pray that's the case, I reply. Even if we're of no use ourselves, things will still work out if the other observers can pull through. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. All thanks to a pair of Devola and Popola models from another town. The wind rubs my cheeks. The sand grazes my skin. It's grown cold out here. We walk with renewed purpose, hoping to make up for lost time. Devola loses her balance every now and then. Gets bad after a while. I slip myself under her arm so she won't fall again, and we press on. Is your leg alright? Well, I doubt I'll be dancing anytime soon, but yeah, it's fine. She smiles as she says this, but I can tell she doesn't have much left. And yet she continues to smile. Also, I won't worry. I remember when our resistance allies injured her leg. I was furious. Beyond fury. I wanted to scream and cry and lose myself in it. But then she smiled, and all of that rage just drifted away. To think we would have the same face, yet such different smiles. One day, I realized how she reminded me of the martyrs I'd seen in old records. That was the day we decided to leave our town forever. Record of Project Gestalt's end. Our role as observers ended on the day Project Gestalt collapsed. All due to the actions of Devola and Popola models from another town. With the original Gestalt lost, humanity was doomed to an inevitable extinction. Knowing this, we gathered what remaining replicant data we could find and launched it to the surface of the moon. And though success was as unlikely as finding a lost sand grain in the desert, we still had to attempt it. We still had to try. We were androids, you see. Protecting humanity was our instinct. Other androids, beholden to that same instinct, began to direct their hate at the Devola and Popola models who'd snuffed out humanity. It started small. A few offhand remarks, the occasional glance. But even the smallest things have weight, and with enough of them combined, that weight eventually becomes a boulder. Emotions boiled over, remarks became jeers, and soon enough, my sister and I were the perfect target for persecution. At first, we simply accepted the fact that our friends turned on us. It was almost unavoidable, I suppose. We were observers for Project Gestalt, after all. And while we didn't cause it to fail, the people who did, well, they looked just like us. So we accepted it. We took the resentment and scorn. We endured. Because as crazy as it sounds, I think we actually felt responsible. We moved from town to town in an effort to avoid persecution. But in one such town, my seemingly infinite patience finally broke. My sister Devola met with unprovoked violence at the hands of a resistance member. She said something in response to his taunts. Something quiet. And though her words were ambiguous, he slashed her leg nearly in two. My vision narrowed. Everything went red. And then she smiled at me. "It's okay, sis. There's nothing we can do." But it was too late. My emotions were no longer in my control. I'm simply not strong enough to stand aside and let the most important person in the world come to harm. Devola and I left the town that same day. Violence like that wouldn't stop. It was going to happen again. And it wouldn't be coming from just one person. So rather than let them kill us, we ran. I guess it was the greatest resistance I could muster. We lose the sun as dark clouds gather overhead. We continue our march. A cold wind blasts us, stealing what little body heat we have left. I smell rain in the air. We continue our march. Sometimes we hear animals howling in the distance. It makes us flinch every time. But we continue our march, because even this is better than suffering at the hands of our fellow androids. Why must we suffer this persecution? I know we're the same model as the androids who doomed humanity, so I understand that part. At least a little, anyway. But at the same time, we're not them. We're not the same. We are who we are, and that Devola and Popola were who they were. That's how I felt when I saw Devola being hurt. I wanted to shout it at everyone. I wanted to scream. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Devola. And for her, there's only one me. No one can take the other's place. Rain falls from the sky. It stimulates our sensation nerves like cold needles. We need maintenance badly. That's a pipe dream, I suppose. No android would dare help a pair of outcasts like us. Are you cold, Devola? I'm alright, as long as you're with me, sis. I feel the same. We press our bodies together to try and retain heat. It's cold now. Much worse than the searing heat of midday. But we just smile at each other and keep pressing on. There's another camp on the other side of the desert. A new camp. If we can just get there, I can finally fix Devola's leg. And yet, I wonder if there's anywhere on this planet that will take us. Hey, what's wrong? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I do what I can to suppress the anxiety in my chest and keep walking. The rain grows worse. It lashes at us without a pause. Is this our punishment? I reach out and touch Devola's cheek, support her body. I touch her cheek. The rain flows down her cheeks like tears. I reach over and gently wipe it away. She smiles, but seems surprised. There's no point in doing that, you know, she whispers. But there is. Because I swore to myself that I would stay with her forever. For that is the fate we twin androids have been assigned.